Alright, we should be live. Alright, hopefully I'm coming through just fine. Got different settings from streaming over the weekend. I can't for the life of me figure out why I can't get Twitch chat to show up in the overlay. I'll have to figure that one out. Alright, so we'll go and get started here pretty soon, guys. Just setting up some stuff. Been continuing production. I'm on my last batch of Tech 2 modules. So I have to start. I'm not even actually thinking about inventing. It's almost cheaper just to. People sell the module BPCs pretty cheaply anyway. I think I'm just gonna just find them in contracts every now and again. So I'm working on Tech 2 Warp Structures right now. The last bit of Tech 2 modules that I have. I have to look at the skills that I have to see which ones I can actually make right now. I actually extracted some skills from like most of my characters a few months ago to pay off my investment fund folks. It's not too bad. I mean, it's just some skills here and there that just weren't really being efficiently utilized anyway. But now that I'm getting back to production full time, I'm like, God, I wish I didn't extract that. Some our stream for a few more channels here. Alright, great. So that should do it. We'll go ahead and get started with our kind of usual routine here. Actually, well, pick up these items real quick so I can actually go ahead and create these items. Start producing some of these items on stream. That's fine. Should have everything. One of the things I've been doing too is actually, I used to create the Tech 2 components and build them myself as well. I'm not doing that this time around. I'm actually just putting buy orders up for the Tech 2 components. In low volumes, it gets matched up pretty quickly actually. I'm pretty surprised. I don't know if it's always been like that. I just never, I just never noticed, but it's convenient.
Warp drive active.
Also, my wetware mainframes have completed from the wormhole. I lost another Gila, man. Just being totally inattentive. I got caught up while answering my phone. Like, oh my god, so frustrating. That is what it is. I mean, might be a sign to take a break from wormhole,
Drive active.
which is fine. I've been there for a while, and it's not a very well supported wormhole, but at the same time, it's kind of low class anyway, so it's not too bad. It's just I gotta stop being bad. That's really all it is. I got to stop being terrible. I gotta stop being a terrible Eve player. That's really what it comes down to. I'm pretty excited about actually going through some of the stuff.
Docking permission.
As far as
requested.
the
Docking request accepted.
kind of the review what we picked last week. Nothing too significant. I mean, a lot of them were pretty straightforward picks. So we'll kind of just blast through those, to be honest. I love this Imicus that I've been using for distribution, like low-end distribution mission. It's got enough cargo hold to carry all the stuff that I normally would use anyway for these modules. So I really only make like 40 or so at a time. So pretty convenient. Yeah, I'm kind of blast through these pretty quickly, actually. I'm just gonna head over to next door and Koldar and start getting set up for our stuff here. And the skills, some combat skills that I've been training on to get into proper faction warfare should be almost done. I should be done on Robo. At least, halfway decent Tristan. To get back into it, I mean, for those of you guys who've never done faction warfare before, it has a lot of trade links, to be honest. Faction warfare as an income source is it's not necessarily underutilized, but a lot of people don't know how to use it efficiently because they kind of just get treated like mining, you know. You mine it, it's not really like that. You end up spending a lot of time farming LP. Even in faction warfare space, where you can get it at a much faster rate, it's still using up your time. Some people are okay with that, to be honest. I mean, that's what gives the variety in the prices, to be honest. Otherwise, you wouldn't have such very favorable buy orders. Okay, this little Imicus can carry 1.2k M3. It's not bad. That'll hold me up for like even all the way up to level 2 distribution missions, I think, or most of them. I'll get to that here in a little bit. Alright, so let's go over our picks from last week. So we called out the Tengu. Big Ben streams, was not sure about the Tengus. I used to trade this a lot. No, mind you, when I trade ships, 2 stacks. Big Ben Stream says 2 stacks of 500 units have been dropped at 110 mil over the past week or so. No, really, yeah. No, you're right. It's to pick it up. It's not. These are. Oh, hey, Marsha. What's up, man? As far as my general strategy for these things, they aren't necessarily the quick flips that I'm used to doing. It's more of a, are they attractive buys? If they are, pick them up. And when they become attractive sells, then sell them. So, and I will actually describe one of those items that finally completed that trade cycle for me. It took like almost 3 weeks, but it was a decent profit. This is definitely a different pace from what my old investors are used to, where I'm paying off every week. I can't afford to really pay off every week with the type of items that I'm doing right now, which is fine because I don't have any investors right now. Alright, so I called out Tengus. Let's expand this a little more so we can maybe kind of see a better context here. So they are at year lows right now. The Tengus that are at year lows, 365-day lows. That's why I picked. That's why I called them out, because they're at historical lows. Now, is it gonna continue to get lower? I don't know, to be honest. It seems to have found a pretty decent floor, but every time it does do that, it feels like it goes deeper down. So we'll see. But historically, they are at a low. So you can see right here at 110, they kind of found that floor there. But we'll see. We'll see how it develops. At the time, I didn't have enough money to actually reasonably put into Tengus. So Big Ben Stream says I would agree on picking them up at 105 buy. Yeah, definitely. And the reason I actually kind of called this out from last week, I was doing almost like a portfolio description, a Tech 3 portfolio, where I'm calling out. I called out the Tengus and I called out the melted nanoribbons, which we'll go over next. So if you can manage to pick up Tengus, I think if you don't mind holding on to them, I think that'll be good for you. I think that'll be healthy for you. All right. Next one's the melted nanoribbon. I managed to pick up several of these actually. I haven't put them on sale yet. I'm actually just I think it's gonna be a while for them to be attractive for sale, but I got them on buys anyway. Ooh, fancy. Alright, so I had picked up, I picked up melted nanoribbons at 1.3. 1.3 buy. And they're at tight 1.5 buy. Let's do that real quick. That's a 14% profit buy to buy, so that's pretty good. I'm probably gonna continue to hold on to it and leave my orders sitting at 1.3. I think that's reasonable. I think it will go back to that. It may take 2 months for it to go back, but we'll see. I'm totally in this hoarding mode right now because I don't really. I'm not pressured to buy stuff. So this is so different from what I'm used to, but at the same time it makes a lot more sense, and I actually have the time to actually sit down and assess what's going on around me, which is really, really good. Way less stressful than the environment I was in before. Alright, so hopefully you picked up some melted nanoribbons. I called it out at 1.3 million, and I managed to get some, I think 200 or so, or near 200. I'm gonna continue to hold on to it, but right now, if you wanna sell it, you're immediately raking in a profit. If you captured it from buy orders, you can dump it right into buy orders for in the neighborhood of 14% profit before taxes. It's pretty good. Polymer reactions, we're not going to go through every single one of them, but let's just look at, like, quickly go through. They were trending low, they're reaching historic lows, just like the completed ships and the main salvage item that's used for these builds, which is the melted nanoribbons. Kind of going up and down. Yeah, it's just kind of oscillating through there. At the very least, it's finding its trading, or it's starting to plateau rather. Yeah, nothing too crazy. Yes, it's maintaining its trading. Holy crap. Imagine that. Pick this up at 12, 717. Wow. Alright, not too bad. They're kind of just finding that trade channel. That's fine. Nothing too significant for the polymers. Alright, for the cells. Called out the these Galente drone. They're not actually associated with faction warfare, so not these drones anyway. Let's see how they did though. The augmented hobgoblins probably could have gotten it went over 15, you know, almost 20, so it's pretty spiky. It's fine. There would have been some profit there if you managed to capture this at 14. Integrated hobs. Not so much action in the integrated hobgoblins. It's just going through its price swings. Yeah, it's fine. Excavator mining drones. Like here's, I actually didn't get a chance to check that before the show. Yeah, it's still trending upwards. So, Big Ben Stream says, have you seen how crazy implants went? Probably a consequence of the new Plex. It's going quite crazy. Are you talking about hardwires or the attributes? I don't tend to play with the attributes, or the hardwires, but in the attribute scene, it seemed okay. It's within their normal trading limits, sub 100 to 110 million. Plus 5s. Oh, okay. Really? I didn't get a chance. Let me double check. I can see how the Plex changes could have affected that. So we'll definitely be going over Plex later too. So. Alright, so that's how we did. I think if you were able to pick up some of the buys that we called out last week, I think you'll be in good shape. You may have to hold on to it for a while though. So do be aware. All over 110 million sell for them, not usual. They can reach, some of them can reach 110, but not for very long. That's usually where I play them at, like 98 mil to like 110, 111. But sometimes if I'm not quick on the draw on being competitive on the sell side, I may lose a sell opportunity, have to wait for it to cycle up again. Alright, one of my completed transactions from this particular style of trading has been the Republic Fleet Medium Shield Extender. Alright, so that's the 100-day view right there. Alright, so I managed to buy this at 9.8. 9.8 mil, and I sold it for at 11.4. So that's a 15% profit before taxes. Not bad. I did have to wait. I mean, looking at the dates here, bought it on April 27th, sold it May 14, so 2.5 week wait. It's not bad. I mean, when I did put them on sale and started becoming competitive with my one Isking, they got all done up in 2 days, so it's not bad. 15% profit for like really very little work. I captured them from buy orders pretty quickly. I don't think I actually adjusted it once. I put on my initial orders and it got matched. That tends to happen for Navy faction items. Not so much pirate faction items, but Navy faction items definitely. It's a much more rich dumping grounds on the buy end. Alright, I'm going to start on with some items here. So one of the things I want to go over, I'm going to link this in chat. Sorry guys, I have to figure out this, how Twitch... I used to have Twitch chat available here, but I can't get it to work for some reason. Alright guys, so what I just linked is the Blue Horseshoe Pilot podcast, which happened on Saturday. So that was a podcast that involved myself, Caleb Baranya, Marshmallow was there, Jeronica for like a little bit since he was cooking, and who else was there? Otto was there, Cypher kind of showed up in the last bit there as well. So it was really neat. It was a pilot for a more market-minded podcast. I had a really good time doing that, man. That was really, really cool. And thank you very much for those who showed up and participate. That was really neat. Especially since there wasn't a whole lot of hype before the podcast. It was really great to see some people kind of showing up, and there was very, very lively conversations in Twitch chat and on the podcast as well. And Marsha was like totally controlling Twitch chat. It was awesome. It was great. Thanks, Marsha. I really appreciate it. Hopefully that's something we can continue. You know, as far as the quality of the production stuff like that, I've literally been streaming for less than 3 months. So I continuously learn stuff. And I have the gear to do this stuff. It's just that I don't have a whole lot of like technical knowledge when it comes to this stuff. Kind of just learn as I go. Kind of like on the job training. So do have a listen. Yeah, actually Caleb managed to get that on SoundCloud as well. So there's links of that. Let me see if I can capture that for you guys. And there's the SoundCloud. Right, great. We intend to continue that every week. So hopefully, it's gonna be an open format. So if you guys want to hop into the channel while we're live, I'm pretty sure Caleb's gonna be pretty cool with letting folks in there. Yeah, it's just that kind of format. So looking forward to doing more of those. Alright, the next thing I got here for you guys is so this is blog post from the Neocom. That's basically where I got started with the e-media stuff. Started off as a writer there. Proto's back. It really looks like he's back. You know, he's managed to kind of clear some stuff up from real life. Kind of cleared that bit of you know, that kind of just cleared up his life a little bit and ready to go back into some serious spaceship business again. And I'm really looking forward to what he can come up with, and looking forward to what he kind of the talent that he can gather. And hopefully it's successful and stays active and gets a lot of participation out there from the community. It's a really good crew when I was there. It's just this little ultimately there was this real life stuff's too OP sometimes, man. It's just too OP and it rarely gets balanced. It's just the way it is. And we just have to deal. So glad to see Protovarius back on the Eve Media circuit, and I'm really looking forward to what he can come up with. Alright, next thing I want to talk about, guys, was the Blood Raider Sotios. So we're like almost 2 weeks into it. I'm just really excited about the prospect of the new AI. And I did not participate in any events concerning the Blood Raider Sotio. I wasn't there on grid. I didn't even try it in Sissy. But from what I've been hearing from folks who have been streaming it or participating in the activities around it, for the most part, it seems like people are pretty impressed with the abilities of the AI. And they're pretty impressed with how much more efficient they move compared to human fleets, which is really cool, at the same time really scary. You know what I mean? Because they were trying out different comps, and you know, and for a while there it just wasn't being contested. And I thought one of the things that was kind of interesting was based on the actual location of the site. There was you know, some politicking involved there, you know, between Imperium and allies, and you know, the location of the thing. And I just thought it was really neat, you know, to have a PvE item surrounded in meta, so, you know, and just having a whole lot of its abilities. It's a new thing. It's a new hotness. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to how that becomes part of, you know, just the game universe in general. The one thing that I do hope kind of happens is it gets a lot of love from CCP, and that it doesn't just become this one-off, hey, look at this great content, we're gonna dump it we're gonna dump it on your lap now, and then just leave it. Incursions, faction warfare, to some degree wormhole stuff like in the beginning. Yeah, I just hope there's constant iteration and improvements, and not just, oh, we did a thing, now let's move on to the next thing. You know, because that's pretty frustrating, especially when EVE players really commit to learning that new part of the game, and having that be part of their just the way they play in general, and not for it to just, because eventually we'll figure it out, right? And we'll get it down to a science, and we're basically gonna draw the fun out of it to make it more efficient. Once that happens, CCP really needs to step in and kind of spice it up a bit, right? Because eventually we'll always get to that point where we're gonna just suck the fun out of it to make it easier, to make it more efficient, to make more money. And this is what we do, so it's inevitable. I just wish that I just hope that in the back end there's things to kind of keep it more lively. But we'll see. I think that's a genuine concern I think the community has for any new item. But hopefully this proves kind of the tech behind the improvements that can be done for missions, PvE in general, and you know, kind of having that immersive. It's kind of funny when you think about it though, right? Because it's almost as if CCP is replacing what otherwise would be player-on-player engagements to become player versus AI being third-partied by other players. I just find it really, really interesting, and you know, like in no other game do I see stuff like that. It's just, you know, Eve's not straightforward, and it really shows with the design that the developers have to take on, right? Just neat. But hopefully constant improvement. That's all I'm going for. All right, picks of the week. We'll move some stuff here. All right. So these are my buys of the week, guys. I'm actually pretty excited about talking about the faction warfare stuff. But the first one I called out is the Vexor Navy issue. Alright, so the Vexor Navy issue is right around 1 year lows. Okay. I do caution folks when you're looking at specifically Navy faction items, maybe ships or ammo, maybe not so much ammo, there's way too much volume in there anyway. But modules, cross-reference that with the strength of the faction warfare empire that can produce them. Let's take a look. Not gonna be a 100, you know, a very comprehensive look, but it's a good guesstimate. Okay. So we are a faction. I am in faction warfare. The corporation that I'm in with this trading character is my own corp, and it is in faction warfare. We are in Calmail. Why Calmail? So I have access to Jedi Noir. That's really it. That's it. That and Calmail has the best militia chat by far. Best militia chat ever. Most entertaining. So we're hitting 1 year lows on the Vexor Navy issue. Gallente, which is this Gallente faction warfare item, they are at tier 3 right now, so they're winning the war zone basically. So what does that mean when you're winning the war zone from an LP and trading perspective? You basically earn more LP faster than your direct counterparts, right? If you're doing the same sites, you're being awarded more LP and spending the same amount of time, right? So you're able to farm way more LP. And we'll leave it at that. That's really the biggest part I wanted to highlight. Gallente has a lot of systems that they control, which means they have a much larger multiplier for earning loyalty points. I'll translate that to the price movement that we're seeing right now. It's basically the LP market for Gallente is very saturated because of them being in tier 3, and they can hit tier 4. They hit tier 4 periodically as well. Okay. So what you end up seeing mostly is if someone is winning the war zone, winning the control of the war zone, means they have more LP per activity. That tanks their LP value because there's way too much of it. It saturates it. So in turn, the items that you exchange for that LP drops in price. So generally speaking, that's a good time to get it. Now put that in the context of the actual conflict. The Caldari versus Gallente conflict and how they kind of swing back and forth. Right now, you tend to see I've been in that war zone easily for the last 3 years. Easily. There tends to be big swings between them. Typically no more than three reversals per year. No more than 3 typically. You'll see 2. More often than not, Galente is winning because they just have more active pilots. Even though Caldari has more raw number of pilots, Galente have more active pilots in the war zone. Why is that? Because you probably have guys like me, more guys like me than you think in Cal Mil, where I'm there, I'm active, I have a presence, but not not too big of a presence because I am on my own in the war zone, and I'm mostly utilizing Cal Mil faction warfare strictly just for IS making. There's a lot more in Cal Mil IS makers, faction warfare LP runners than there are I'm just there to PvP. It's just the nature of the beast. There's more PvE folks in Caldari. Sorry. It's just one of those things. It's one of those things. And I admit it. So right now, if you have the time to hold on to this, and you're somewhat active or at least familiar of when the faction war, when the LP swings between Caldari and Galente, this is a really good buy right now. It is a really good buy. Now, can you flip it anyway? When it, is there enough in there to flip it during the trade channel that it's in? Let's take a look. Probably not a whole lot. 60 to 66. Yeah, not a whole lot. Actually, nah, it's 10% before taxes. That's pretty doable if you just want to flip it. It's possible. And looking at the volume of this, it's a very popular Navy faction cruiser. BNIs, they're really good. You see upwards of 500 per day traded on this. So for a cruiser, for that value, at 500 units, that's pretty. At 500 units per day, that's really good. It's really good. So it's worth attacking it from a longer perspective, and it's also worth attacking it for just daily trading. Just do be aware, if you do put buy orders on this, it'll get matched pretty quickly. It may take you a while to actually sell it. So yeah, just be aware of that. Alright, the next thing is Nano Factories. This is a pretty cold call, to be honest. It looked a little better when I was looking at it the other day. It started being less attractive. It's like 1 million to 110. Oh, hey Caleb. I think it's pretty reasonable for you to see this hit one. Let's see. You can get this under 100 million, under 1 million. Sell it for 110. That's not bad. That's not bad. Right now I got orders for 982k. It's pretty reasonable to see it at 1.1 million. Maybe closer to like a 2-3 month wait. If you're willing to wait, go for it. Or if you are a builder of things that require nano factories, maybe a good time to get them en masse. Why are you up at this hour, Caleb? Holy shit. That's crazy. Alright, next one is Crosslink Compact BCSs. I haven't talked about meta modules in a long time. The Crosslink Compact BCS is definitely one of my favorites. It has the most volatile, not necessarily drop rate, but how often people dump it into the market. Long nap in the middle of the day, yeah, that's what does it, man. That's what does it. So it's got a pretty tight trade channel here. $2.5 to 2.9. It's 14% before taxes. It's not bad. Okay, I was like, don't start trading meta modules. It's like it's addiction. It is, man, because it's clockwork. It's reliable. More often, most of the time, it's reliable. Not all the time. Most of the time, it's reliable. Crosslink compact BCS is definitely too. Like this one, Rapid Lights. I didn't. And I think Rapid Heavies too. I've had some pretty good, decent success with Rapid Heavy meta fours. But yeah. There's actually, because it's got a good enough spread, it's not super saturated. 14% difference. 14% profit margin before taxes. Not bad. Trick is actually getting it though. Out of the meta modules, I typically have a hard time getting these items matched up. Okay, with the street corner trade, the volume sucks balls most of the time. Yeah, I mean, for the price and for what it is, really, to see traded, you know, there's only a handful of days where it crosses the 500 units line. It is what it is, you know. It is what it is. Great beginner products, yeah, it really is. It really is. All right. Next one I got is to observe small ancillary armor. Why do I say observe? Because finally, holy Jesus, it's finally like going below average. It had this really long run. Let's take a look, man. There's really big waves right here. And it reached a peak at 7 mil, and it's hitting below average finally. Is this the correction? Is this the gonna be a sustained price correction in a downward direction? I don't know. Caleb says, works fine up to like 100 bill nav range, remains fun side profits. For meta modules, holy shit, that's a lot of orders. Scaling from 0 to 10 billion Tech 2 modules in meta and Eve. It's like Eve market school 101. Yeah, start small, man. Just start small. I mean, yeah, I mean, there's so many ways to do markets, you know. I think a lot of beginners tend to look at it way too much in a linear way instead of kind of just holistically, you know, absorbing the methods that people use and just owning it and coming up with their own methods. It's totally fine. It's one of the few things in the game that actually aren't set in stone, like PvP or PvE, like combat PvE, which is like, this is the best way to do it. There is no the best way, honestly, in market, because there's so many variables. You know, your ability to hang in there and continue the work. You know, time that you have, capital, all that stuff. So it's a lot more of a personal journey, I think, which is really, you know, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to think about. All right, so I'm thinking at least that this is the beginning of the great downward, sustained downward price direction in this, much like this section right here, where it kind of hit 7 mil and then just dumped back down to like around 4. Use double click from the wallet. I don't have any on order right now, because I can't capture it. What does that do if I double click? From orders? It says use double click from the wallet and list by expiration orders, other tab orders. Okay. Oh, I only have 3 sell orders left. What the hell? We got sold. Oh, my Sarah Conduit sold. Nice. I sold this for 1.4. But then it's back up. It's back down to 1.2, 1.1. Got on spike. That's great. Okay, it says use double click from the wallet and list by expiration orders or sorted by expiration. Then you see the ones with least days on top, so you refresh them chronologically. Oh, okay. No tip there. Alright, so it looks like I really got lucky on this Sterile Conduit. So these are Sterile Conduits that I did not trade to acquire. I actually made them. Looks like I got it right here on the top end. That's really strange. Very rarely do I get those outlier things. So I'm happy with that. I'm curious to how much of a profit that was from production. Let me double check. So that would have been 18% profit before taxes from my Actually, let me share this with you guys. Alright, so this is the sheet that I use when I identify which P3s I need to buy to make the P4s for the profit. So this is a while ago that I actually made this. So this is the Sterile Conduits right here. And at the time, the material cost was 1.1 when I put in the buy orders. And it reached the sell that I was aiming for, which is 1.4. And that equals to 18% profit before taxes. I'm pretty happy with that. It took a while to sell that, like a while. Like this was like a almost like it's embarrassing to say. This was almost like a 5-week evolution to get that 18%. I don't know if there's value in that. I don't know if there's value in that. All right, but hey, this is what it is. So that's how I determine which ones. I was thinking of actually kind of taking a hiatus from my PI, at least from the high sec to wormhole PI. It seems like I can probably focus on other things to make more money in less time. That was the nanofactories that went into PI, that went into Sterile Conduits. Tangents. Yeah. Alright, next thing, we talked about observing the SARS. Now, observing Noxium. I'm not a big mineral guy. I'm not a big, I'm not a mineral guy. I do materials like PI and wormhole stuff, but common day-to-day stuff that deals in tremendous amounts of volume, I tend to really stay away from because that's not my wheelhouse. That is just not my wheelhouse. What's this? Let's take a look. It looks like, I'll show you. It looks like it's about to head down. Let's see. Actually, I did not check it today, so this might actually be a bad call altogether. Let's see. Yeah, it's trending down. Trending as it expands a little bit. So in the last 90 days or so, it's starting to trend down from its peak. I think this is a good thing to observe. Now, I wouldn't buy it right now. I just don't know enough of this type of stuff to really buy. But if hey, Kevil. I mean, I'm not sure. Would this be a good buy if it goes back to 300? I mean, just looking at the graphs, it seems like it is, but could it go lower? I don't know. Cause you got this really oddball high volume sell-off. Like something happened here. There's just something really weird, and it forced people to rethink their positions in Noxium. Kevhill says, I'm glad I found you. I've been wanting to learn more about the market. Well, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. I stream every Tuesday, 0100 and at 0100 Eve time. And I'm also going to be doing Saturday podcasts with the Blue Horseshoe Club with Caleb Aranya. We do market talk. Yeah, so I'm glad I'm able to help you. It's great. And I think the one thing that really sets me apart from the other people is I'm not nearly as knowledgeable as the other market media people. I'm not. I'm really not. Caleb says, yeah, check that volume. It's like, dude, it's a dump. I'm not sure why people dumped it though. I mean, to dump it at a 90-day high, is it worth it? That's crazy. This is crazy to me. But yeah, I'm just not nearly as knowledgeable as like say Lockfox or The Lone Wolf or Caleb. Like they have their vision's really really good, and their technicals is really really good because they can they have the. I don't know how to pull charts like on my own. the only thing I know is to actually look at it as I see it. A shift to Plex maybe. What do you mean shift to Plex, Caleb? Like sell the Noxium to buy Plex? Yeah, we're about to hit Plex here. Actually, that's our next item. Sales of the week, Plex and skill injectors. Ah, so good. So good. Caleb says, so no real gain short term and Plex is running away. Gotcha. You know what? I was a bit, yeah, let's go in. Yeah, because we already talked about Noxium already anyway. But yeah, just observe it. See where it is. If you're comfortable. If it goes into I'm not sure where it would reasonably correct to. I think it can reasonably correct to like 310. Just based on the velocity of these dropping values. Kev Hill says, question, is nanopaste worth manufacturing? It varies. It really does. It really does. Because it's a PI item. And PI goes through very visible swings. So depending on if you're aware based on the manufacturing requirements of nanopaste, if you can capture the materials at the low end, then yeah, it'll be worth it. If you're capturing at the high end, you may be building at a loss. Because I've unfortunately been caught in those types of positions where I buy the P3s to make the P4s, but I buy the P3s at such a price, or I make the price comparisons at the top end of the price movement where I kind of have no choice but just to lose money on, or at least break even. So do be careful when you do that kind of stuff. Caleb says, but goons are stopping the insurance things, no need to floor minerals. It might start picking up real soon. Okay. You have a fond eye on the low trit and pyrite for logistics value. Yep. Very much so, very much so. Alright, let's get into Plex. So I'm going to show you guys, I have a different graphic for Plex because seeing Plex in game, it's so flat. It's hard to make anything of it. Oh. No, it's not flat anymore. What the hell? Maybe it's just to give it time to show up. Okay. I'll use the in-game graphics then. So last week I called out that, you know, it was pretty reasonable to see. I was expecting Plex to hit 3. So we're what, like 2 weeks deep into this? But I was expecting it to go higher, to continue to increase in value. I just found no reason for it to decrease in value. There's no reason for it to. I don't think it's settled down yet, guys. I think this is still kind of that mania. So do be careful if you're buying it for the purpose of reselling later on. But if you already have it, like I do, I don't have a whole lot on my Rodin account, my main account. I have like 185 units of Plex. The next time I'm in Empire, I'll probably move that around to my traders. So why not? See, let's take a look. Let's change this view for a minute. Did it ever hit 3? Nope, never hit 3. That's fine. It is continuing to get up there. Will it hit 3? Yeah, probably. I mean, right now we're this is basically the equivalent of what a 1.3 billion is Plex price. So we're all. Yeah, we've cleared the 1.2 barrier, which was, yeah, we're up there. We're up there. So this is 360 1-year highs for Plex value. 1-year high for Plex value. If you're buying for the purpose of reselling later on, don't buy right now. Do not buy right now. Because we just don't know how this is going to correct. We don't know how hard this is going to correct. One thing with Plex is a lot of these technical indicators that we use for other items, Plex doesn't care. It doesn't behave the same way. It doesn't respect those technical indicators the same way the other items do. So do be careful with Plex in general. If you want to, this is a great time to sell. You know, because it. Let me adjust the view again. It doesn't have a clear ceiling. So I think it's if you kind of need the money now and you have it laying around, you're getting more value selling it now than you would have when it was still the original Plex. So there's that. Man, yeah, like I'm saying sell it because of the increased value right now, but man, I am not. I do intend to trade in this actively. But hey, Dronica, what's up, man? But I'm not gonna play this until I actually see an attractive an attractive place to place buy orders for the purpose of reselling, because I don't intend to buy Plex to get skins or anything like that. I don't intend to buy Plex for other player services like multiple character training or anything like that. I intend to buy Plex for the purpose of housing value in it, for it to increase, after a few months. That's why I want to buy it. Just chilling, dude. I am totally not making this. Like I am losing shit in the wormhole because I'm being so careless. And I'm like, I don't care, whatever. Like it's almost as if I'm finding a reason for myself to leave the wormhole, to take a break from the wormhole. I think that's what's happening. I think that's what's happening. Like my mind's like just I'm gonna break this dude's fucking ships. So this guy has no reason to fucking be in his wormhole. That's what's gonna happen. You know. They were not loose ships. I know it was a Gila. So I'm not even too. It's nothing. You know, it's like I don't know, like maybe 400 mil. Which is weird, right? Like I think, like I say, like it's whatever, but like I go PvP in LowSec and I win a Desi and I feel like I'm so fat. Like, man, I better kill like at least 75% of the value of this damn ship. It's fucking 10 million is bullshit. I was like, support the manufacturers lose more ships. Dude, I'd love to lose more. I would love to lose more ships in the wormhole. But it's just me in there, man, for my time zone. It's just me. Like, there's nothing more. Like, it's tough. Like, wormhole living is tough if you're not actually there as a pure explorer. And by explorer, I mean like you don't have a way to house your things. You're literally just going through the connections. That's one thing. That's it's okay. But if you have a house in a wormhole, you know, by house I mean Citadel. But you're not set up, you know, the manpower. But it's just the crew that I'm running with. You know? We're not a dedicated wormhole crew, so we kill Citadels. That's our jam. So. All right, so back to the Plex. Yeah, like I would, if you still have Plex from the Aurum exchange or the involuntary Aurum exchange, and you kind of can't, you know, you don't want to wait. If you sell now, at least you're selling it above average. You know, it's only a matter of time before it corrects, and the indicators just isn't reliable to see when that will be. When have we reached an overbought state? Plex don't care, man. You have to feel it. All right, so that's my 2 cents on Plex. Next one's skill injectors. Same view, 90 days. I'm sticking to my guns on skill injectors as a better wealth storage than Plex. It feels like it's more like it has a more consistent price development that is in line with good wealth storage tools. Plex is just, maybe it's gonna be different in the future when Plex becomes more stable, but right now it's like no one really knows where the limits are for it. So we'll see. But if I had the money, I would definitely be putting in skill injectors. But what's really happening, for me at least, when I have the money, I actually invest it in other people. That's way better than investing in the market directly. Investing in people. I actually have one new investment for myself from the folks that I play with. I have an investment with one of our folks in our channel. It's for 1 billion ISK, and the intent is for a 10% total return. Yeah. Give 1 billion, earn 100 million. I think it's in a few weeks. So that's usually what I do with my money. You know, I haven't had a whole lot of investments lately. It's kind of weird because we've reached this point in our investment group where we have more investors. So for let me. So like the last 2 weeks, we had more investors than operators. We had more people with money, and you know, looking for people to bet on, basically, right? But now that kind of has reversed now because all those who was it? Anathema came by and is like offered some you know, he's a good guy, man. He's a really good operator and runs his trading operation like tight. height, and people just gave him money, man, like double-digit billion. Like, here's my money, please take my money. And he cleared out our investors, man. Anyone who wanted money basically had a chance to dump it on him. And hopefully, good luck to you, bro. Hopefully you can keep that up, but you do a lot of work. Don't burn yourself out, man. You do a lot of fucking work, so do be careful with that. But best of luck, definitely. Veronica's like, I have the same problem. Yeah, man, like shoot, like that's my thing, man. Like that's why I help to maintain that group. I'm not in charge of nobody in there. I'm just a dude in the chat channel, man. I'm just a dude in the Discord. But yeah, investing in people has definitely been my bag for sure. These are all the people that I have stuff with. Yeah, so we had a guy, Night Fox. He our more successful operators definitely have been super carrier ratters as opposed to Rorqual users. So that was pretty cool to actually see that transition. When the Rorqual was hot, like 90% of our operators was Rorqual pilots, or they were trying to get Rorquals, and once they got the Rorqual, they'll pay us back, right? But now that the Rorqual was hit with the nerfs, it switched back to super carrier ratting. So that's like super carrier ratting and buybacks, like really comprehensive buyback programs from Nullsec is our main source of activities from our group, from the operator end, which is really cool, man. Because like I get to kind of pick the brain of these guys who run these operations that they treat it like a business, and that's cool. I respect that. I appreciate that, because this is EVE and spaceships is serious business. You just don't get that kind of attitude in the combat side anymore. People don't care about losing ships anymore. It has no value anymore. Like that's kind of sad, Like there's no thrill because it means nothing to you. It's fucking garbage. So, but now I'm experiencing that in the market end. So that's good. I'm happy. With that. All right. I really want to expand on that stuff too. So if any of you guys are, have money that you want to allocate to some people for operations, or you are an operator, we have been a lot more selective with our stuff, and I shouldn't say selective, but we've been keeping better track of our people's. I should do that after stream because I'm gonna be exposing names if I do that now. I have a list of all of the dealings of the people within the channel, at least within the last 3 weeks. So we're basically keeping track of all of the good guys. We're keeping track of their reputation. All the people who have operations and they were true to their word and paid everybody back, stuff like that. So I'm really curious to see where this goes, like way further down the line. What does this mean for, do we end up in a situation where some very trustworthy people end up coming from our neck of the woods and really end up doing greater things out there in the game space? Hopefully, right? But we'll see. If anyone's interested with that kind of stuff, maybe that's something we can talk about actually, Caleb, in one of our shows. I think that'd be really good. So I know you got some stuff going on too. I want to get back to it too. I really, really do, but I feel like I'm not gonna be able to devote as much time to it, especially with the media stuff that I'm doing. Because believe it or not, it does take some time to actually prepare all these things, guys. At least I usually start looking at the stuff for a Tuesday show. I'll end up using like late Saturday night, Sunday morning to start looking at stuff to put in for buys and sells of the week. Yeah, but that's really all I got, guys. If anyone has any questions, let me know. I know Jeronica's got. See, it's kind of cool because then, like, all the same people that are sorta in the Eve Media, we all have like investments with each other. Like secret, like super secret investments. But yeah, like just learning about that stuff because there's so many ways to do it, or you just have to be creative with how you present your information. I will see. I definitely would like to get into it, but I feel like I want to do that stuff being in nullsec. I feel like there's a lot of potential for being in the nullsec environment as a money-minded person wanting to interact with other people. It's just different, right? It's different. Ironic is like that's for the latest Eve Onion tweet. Oh man, Eve Onion. Is he doing? He's doing a restart, isn't he? Like redoing his website or something. Man, Eve Onion. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I'm curious. What I'm really curious is the. I don't even know if we can ever get to that place where the Blood Raiders Tortillas are going to be so contested. It's going to be fights for him all the time. I don't think so. I think it's going to be a cartel piece of shit fucking event. You know, like you got to be one of the cool kids that fucking run it. It feels like it's what's going to happen. So not everyone's going to have a chance to actually experience that content, unfortunately. But we'll see. I mean, it might just be a product of the politics around it. But hopefully we can get something like that in more free space like ISEC. That'd be great. Even if it's just very, very scaled down. That'd be great. Alright, but that's really all I got, guys. Oh, Drunkus, that's probably not. Seems like you need a pretty decent fleet to actually do it. Yeah. There was like, I forget who was running it, but someone was running like a 17 rattlesnake fleet. Nope. Wasn't happening. I mean, yeah. See you, Sailor. See you on Saturday, Caleb. Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely keeping my eye out for the Blood Raiders Tortillas because that could be indicators to what ships to start flooding the market. All right, that's all I got, guys. I will go ahead and shut the stream here shortly. For like Shadow VPCs or what Dronica says for like Shadow VPCs or whatever, maybe other pirate faction fighters. Yeah, I think so. If it becomes like this, like you gotta bring capital, stupid capital to do that thing, like that's a must. Holy fuck. I don't know. Let's see, man. All right, guys, but I will get the show up to YouTube here before I go to bed for sure, because I've been recording it this whole time. Finally, I forgot to do that last time, and I had to like record it from the video manager in Twitch. Pain in the ass. Alright. Hey, but thanks for being here, guys. Really appreciate it. And we'll continue this conversation hopefully on Saturday. Tune in. We're doing it at I'll have to check at the time, but Saturday I think it's 2300. But we'll let you know. We'll send out social media stuff for it, but it's definitely going to be a weekly thing for me and Caleb. So I'll see you then, and thank you very much for being here.